morning, I have the pleasure to introduce our next speaker. And this person is business for the last 7 years, and he's the best on his business. And the reason I say this because one time I got a phone call from a client for a landscape job, but because it was retired from our next speaker. So and he also was asking this guy about termite service. He said, well, you know what, this guy is the best. All that he's been telling me about the termite problems that I have are convincing me that it's important to have a treatment or treat the house for termites. And it's when you know or when you find out how good that a person is on his business by talking with clients, not what we say. It's what our customer says about us is the most important, or it's what is important about us. So, but anyway, so it's my pleasure to introduce Termite Terry. So please, a very welcome to our next speaker.
Many homes develop leaks around chimneys, around the roof vents up top. The great thing about this is it's relatively inexpensive to correct. Whoops, back that up one time. Another problem that a lot of roofs develop are the ridge caps right at the top of the roof, the peak line. Those are areas where the roofs start leaking. Again, you can replace those ridge caps, relatively inexpensive, lot less than buying a new roof. Roof leaks won't go away, and they may eventually cost you a fortune. Also, when you're walking around the outside of your house, take a close look at your rain gutters. If they're leaking, ladies and gentlemen, they can do more harm than if you didn't have any on there at all. Also, while you're checking your rain gutters, it's a good idea to clean them out. All the leaves and debris that collect will clog them up. And again, if they start overflowing, it's going to do a lot more damage than good. Another item that a lot of people take for granted or don't pay much attention to are lawn sprinklers. And many homes are heavily damaged by these because homeowners allow them to keep spraying on the side of the house. The good news is that a lot of these problems can be fixed very, very inexpensively. Maybe just a simple adjustment's all you need. You can talk to Jesus Arzaga about that. Now here's a sprinkler. If you look right here in the corner, you can see where the sprinkler is right up against the wall. Look at the next shot, and you can see where we've got moisture damage occurring on the inside of the wall, directly on the other side of that. And we also have a mold problem. Hello, Chris. And here's another example of just simple neglect. They should have adjusted the sprinklers, but they let them keep spraying on this big post. Now they're going to have to replace the whole structure. How many thousands of dollars is that going to cost? You could have got out there with a screwdriver and made an adjustment, maybe prevented that. Another item, ladies and gentlemen, don't overwater. Keep an eye on it, especially in weather like this. You don't need to have your sprinklers running every single day. If you overwater, excessive water can seep underneath your home and into walls, creating damage and more mold problems. They can also cause foundation settling and create substantial structural damage. And last but not least, excessive moisture is a magnet for insects, especially for termites. They love it. There's an example of a good overwatered planter, totally filled up, water running down the sidewalk. What a waste of time, not to mention it's hurting the house. Plants and trees, number 2. These can create a lot of problems that will lead to expensive repairs. Plants should be cut back about 1 to 2 feet away from the exterior walls. Trees should also be cut back about 4 foot away from the house, and no branches should be allowed to hang over top of the roof. By maintaining your plants and trees, you'll help keep your home dry, protect your home's paint, John Thomas, help prevent damage to your home's roof, and it will help to keep insects and rodents out of your house. Here's a good example of a home. You can see the tree hanging over the roof. When the wind blows, those branches are going to start knocking the tiles off. Also, it allows rodents and other animals to climb up on top of the roof and have easy access to the house. Another classic example. Vines are also a big problem. They damage the home's outside paint job, easy access for rodents, create moisture problems. Another thing you should do is go around the house and check your door and window screens. You need to inspect your door and window screens on a regular basis. These help keep out all kinds of bugs. And again, these are relatively inexpensive to repair.